Lesson 3.1, Graphing Linear Equations. The objective today is that mainly you identify linear equations. There's a few other things that we're going to get out of this, namely knowing a equation in standard form or putting it in standard form, and also graphing it with intercepts. So I'm not sure why that's not written there as objectives, because all those things come out of Lesson 3.1. The standards from Algebra 1 are 2.6, 3.4, 4.1, 4.2. All right, this list needs to be, I kind of want to say memorized or just become very familiar with. These things are required for something to be a linear equation. It may have one or two variables. Generally, those two variables are usually x and or y. Okay, it would be very weird if it wasn't, but occasionally it comes up with a different kind of situation or story problem. They might use different letters, but usually we're talking x and y. One or two variables. There may not be any exponents on the variables, so if something's squared, it's definitely not linear or cubed or something else. Also, the variables cannot be multiplied together, so you couldn't see an x times a y. That would definitely disqualify it from being a linear equation. And no variable can be in a square root. The other thing that I want to mention, let's add to this list. So add no variable in a denominator. Okay, that also disqualifies it. Something that I should have added on there, but it kind of goes along with the multiplied thing maybe. No variable in the denominator. All right, for it to be a linear equation, the primary focus out of that would be the first four letters of that. If it's a linear equation, we're going to find that it makes a line, and that's why it's really important to be able to identify if it's linear or not. Okay, so some examples. Are they linear, yes or no? And kind of, if it's no, let's say y, and that might help us a little bit. So example A, y equals 2x plus 8. Is it a linear equation? What do you think? One or two variables. It doesn't have an exponent. Variables aren't being multiplied. They're not in a square root. They're not in a denominator. What do you think? Yes or no? Is it linear? Yes. B, y squared equals x plus 7. What do you think, Avery? No, it has an exponent. C, 1/4 x minus 8 equals y. What do you think? Yes. D, xy equals 2. What do you think, Tora? Because? Yep. No, because the variables are multiplied. Okay, so you're probably going to have to be able to identify yes or no on those and maybe tell why they aren't if they're not. So those things, linear equations, those are kind of the rules that qualify something as linear. Now, linear equation. We need to talk about the standard form of a line. Has everybody got the red written down? All right, I'm going to scroll down here. Standard form of a line. AX plus BY equals C. All right, that form should become very familiar to you. It's called standard form of a line. The thing is, A, B, and C are numbers. X and Y stay X and Y. Standard form of a line, AX plus BY equals C. Here are the rules. These things have to occur for it to be in proper standard form. The A must be positive. The A must be positive. If it isn't, then you would end up multiplying the equation by -1. Next, A, B, and C must be integers. Integers. If it isn't, you're going to multiply by a least common denominator to eliminate the fractions. Remember how we talked about kill the fraction? Okay, you definitely have to kill the fraction because they have to be integers. And then finally, A, B, and C must have a GCF of 1. That means that they can have no greatest common factor other than 1. If they do, for example, 2x plus 4y equals 6. Well, those are all even. If they do, you would divide out by the greatest common factor so that it wouldn't have 1. So what's going to happen here today is you're going to be given some equations. You're going to make sure that they're linear, okay? Pretty much if they tell you to write in standard form, they're telling you, yeah, it's linear, but you got to fix it. So you want it so that the x term is first, the y term is second, you have an equal sign, and then you have a constant term. That is the standard form. And then those three things that I have highlighted have to be true. Okay, so here's my first example. E. Y equals 2x plus 8. We want the x term first. That means the 2x has got to come out here in front. In order for that to happen, it's kind of like solving equations. You subtract 2x. That would be the first thing you do. And draw your line. Well, there's no x term there for it to combine with, so you would say negative 2x plus y equals sign, your x's are gone, and 8. Okay, look at the form. The x term is first, the y term is second, equal sign, constant term. Hey, we're almost there. But then you got to check those three things that are highlighted. Is A positive? What is A? Negative 2. It's definitely not positive, so we got to come back over here and do what I said over there, multiply times -1. And what that will do is just change all the signs. So 2x minus y equals -8. Are A, B, and C integers? Yes. Do they have a common factor other than 1? No. So here, let's just do this just to be sure. What is A right now that we fixed it? 2. What's B? -1. And what's C? -8. So we're good to go. That's the standard form of that line. Questions? All right, let's try another example. Example F. 1/4 x minus 8 equals y. Okay, I need my x term first, my y term second, and the constant term at the end. Okay, so here's the deal. I've got my x term first. I need y to come over to here. How would I do that? I would subtract y, and that's what we're going to do. So I have 1/4 x minus y minus 8. What's it equal? 0. Okay, I'm closer. Got my x term first and my y term second, but my constant term has got to go. So add 8. 1/4 x minus y. These guys are gone, equals 8. X term first, y term second, equal sign, constant. Hey, it's in the right order. Is A positive? Yes. Are they all integers? No. I see a fraction, 1/4. So what's it say? What I have on that little note? How do I fix that? Multiply by what? Common denominator. What am I going to multiply by? 4. So I'm going to take this up here now. 4 times 1/4 x is just going to be x. 4 times negative y, negative 4y, equals 4 times 8, 32. Okay, so now I got 2 parts done. Do they have a greatest common factor other than 1? They don't. They don't, because let's do this. What's A? 1. What's B? Negative 4. What's C? Because of that 1, there's no greatest common factor other than 1. Okay, maybe if it was 2 or 8 or something like that, then yeah, you'd have to be dividing out, but right now you don't. Okay, example G. 2y equals negative 2/3 x plus 4. I got to bring this x term over here. So plus 2/3 x plus 2/3 x. 2/3 x plus 2y equals sign 4. Good. X term first, y term second, equals constant. We're in the right order. Is my A positive? Yes. Are they all integers? No. Multiply by least common denominator, so 3. Okay, I'm coming over here. 3 times 2/3 x. What is it? 2x. 3 times 2y. 6y. 3 times 4. 12. Okay, that so far so good. They're all integers. Okay, greatest common factor. Do they have one other than 1? 2, 6, and 12. So definitely divide by 2. So x plus 3y equals 4. Oh, no, 6. Whoops. I was just seeing if you're paying attention. 6. And we are good.